Hello and welcome. I am Scarperlock, and this is City of Villains on the Rebirth server. We are with our level 43 Mastermind, Nightmare Lass, who has 14 million XP, earned 2.5 million to go to get to level 44, and our next superpower, 59 million Infamy. And I'm getting ready to start, hopefully, a story arc for Arbiter Deus. And we're level 43, so let's just do a quick rundown of what I purchased. We don't really need slots for much, so what I did was I fully slotted out Dark Embrace. Now, this is a waste at the moment. We don't need 3 endurance reducers on Dark Embrace, but the plan is, when I have enough reward merits and I'm close, I'm going to need about 300, I think, I can get a resistance set that I can put in here. And that will enable me to get some set bonuses. We're also going to want to buy a heal set for in here, so that's 2 sets. And we might want to put in a defense debuff, perhaps, set in here. Not sure. I'm going to want to also probably eventually slot Painbringer to get increased regeneration on Curly when we put Painbringer on him. But I felt like the Dark Embrace was a bigger priority. Sorry guys, I pulled the jack of my microphone out. I feel like Dark Embrace is a bigger priority because I wanted to get the enhancement set for him. We're very close on being able to do that. I have 262 reward merits, and I think with 300 reward merits we will have enough. Again, sorry about the sound cutout, but we should be alright there. It just took me a second to find the cord and plug it back in. Alright, so Arbiter Deus says, Nightmare Lass, is it? Ah yes, a most colorful career. You, like me, seem to know the value of bending the rules to suit your own purpose. But you must understand one thing. While you are working with me, my word must be law. Good luck with that one, buddy. If you can live within that restriction, you will reap the great benefits of being above all other Arachno's authority. He says, I'm sure you will be familiar with a group known as the Knives of Artemis. Ooh, I don't know if we fought them much. They are well organized as well as ruthless, admirable. I find their efficiency most commendable, but their small downfall is their overwhelming arrogance. It is not as if their riot girl mentality prevents them from backing down from any foe. It is as if their riot girl mentality prevents them from backing down from any foe, even one they know they cannot beat. No doubt this is why they have chosen to take on Arachnos. Go stop them. Alright, so we're going to defeat all the knives in the base. So this is a defeat all mission. So we're going to beat up everybody. This character is working pretty well. I really like having the extra resistance on her. It's helped quite a bit. Talking about enhancement sets. So, not enhancement sets, inspiration. The inspiration kit. Kiovar mentioned that team inspirations are probably the way to go with a mastermind. The reality is, on this server at least, I don't think there's any way to get team inspirations except by getting the reward merits. You get one chance at a 2-card pack every week, unless they're doing some sort of like extra bonus, and the packs may or may not give you team inspirations, and they may or may not give you the team inspirations that you want. I don't know if on other servers it's possible to just buy the team inspiration, such as on Homecoming. If it is, then obviously you would buy the ones you want. This is a great example of how different servers can give you a different experience. I'm playing... Oh, yeah, I did what I wanted. We're doing it right. We got both purples. I missed one of the purples. Here we go. I'm playing... For instance, like I played the Stalker with no sets, right? I'm playing this Mastermind without team inspirations. That's because the way this server works, other servers, you will have the team inspirations, and I messed up. I screwed this up. This is a +0 mission. So the reason is, when I went into the bank vault, I've learned to do those on +0 because they can be a real pain in the neck on +1 because of the way the bosses only attack my character and they go crazy, and they have mezzes, and they even cut right through my mezz defense. And so at least the one that seems to always show up in the Founders Falls one, which is the one we're doing now. And so not wanting to lose a fight and not wanting to waste time messing around with it. I set it on +0, but that means that I needed to turn it back, and I forgot. So I'll do that after this mission. Nothing we can do about that. I really do hate the way the caltrops work, is that if you're hovering over the ground, it's sort of like the ice. If you're hovering over the ground, you still get affected by the caltrops if you're too close to the ground, like right there. If I go down a little bit, it's going to affect me. Here we go, right here. Even though my character is like 3 feet, 4 feet off the ground, the caltrops, which should only affect you if you're touching the ground, are still touching me and affecting me, which is kind of stupid. I mean, I guess I can see if you're right on the ground like this, that it could affect you, but my character was up here. And when you're like 2 or 3 feet off the ground, you shouldn't be being affected by caltrops on the ground. What are they doing? Leaping up into the air and getting stuck to my boots? Shouldn't be possible. What are you doing? Why are you running in there, Curly? Are you just trying to aggro people? You did, you moron. I think he's trying to get out. I think they're trying to get out of the caltrops. So this is going to be a pain in the neck because my minions are going to be constantly trying to get out of the caltrops when I'm not ordering them to do that. Come over here, guys. I know the caltrops hurt your feet, but let's go. The other problem is the caltrops stay for friggin' ever. And so they're going to be there for like another minute. So there's no point to like waiting for them to go away, because it would just take too long. Anyway, back to the inspirations. Team inspirations aren't really an option here on this server. At least not... Look at this. Look how high up I am, and I'm still taking caltrop damage. This character is like 8 feet in the sky, and she's taking damage. Look at that. That is just so ridiculous. It is completely immersion destroying that the caltrops are affecting my character when she's up at the ceiling. I don't like those things in this game. There are certain things they do like that I just really irritate me, because I know they're designed to like stop people from quote unquote exploiting, but they're done in a way, they're implemented in a way that absolutely destroys immersion. I should not be up here as high as these pipes and getting affected by caltrops. That's ridiculous. If I'm smart enough tactically to be flying to avoid the caltrops, then I should be able to avoid the caltrops. I shouldn't be affected by something like that. I mean, that it completely negates your ability to be tactical, because basically they throw them down and anybody in the hallway gets affected no matter how high up you are, no matter how tactically intelligent you're being. I can't stand when they do that. That's probably one of the worst aspects of the game, is when they decide to stop an exploit that they're going to make something completely tactically they're going to completely negate all tactics and utterly destroy immersion. Just like when you're a stalker and the enemy knows exactly where you are even though you're in hide, because it's an ambush. Like, I don't care how ambushes are supposed to work. You shouldn't immersion break the game. That I find very frustrating. Anyway, back to the team inspirations. We won't be seeing a lot of those except against really tough bosses, because I simply don't have that many in the bank in my email. It's hard to tell because you can't always see everything in the email, but we have a large accuracy damage, but that's single. We have regular. I don't really have a lot of... Here we go. Team. We have team resistance. And that's about it right now. It's utterly random which ones you get. So you can't choose, as far as I know on this server, and if somebody knows different, please make a post and let me know where you can go get them. As far as I know on the server, it isn't possible to purposely get the team inspirations you want just because you want them. You have to like just get lucky. And again, if I'm wrong, somebody disabuse me of that notion and correct it for me. So we're going to have to mostly play without team inspirations, which affects just sort of how uber we can be. Just like when we play without, not even going to bother to hover up. Why bother? Just like when we play with single origin enhancements only, it's going to affect the gameplay because you don't have the buffs that come from the sets. thought that was a +2 for a second, but no, it's a +1. Yeah, so my guys are just going to constantly be trying to get out of the caltrops now. And I'm not sure if I can get them not to do that. Let's see if we can pull them over here, but I don't know if they'll come. Here they come. They're going to be slow because the caltrops slow you down. And we have to crawl over every last pixel of this map because it is a defeat all. And it's dark, and I can't see anything, so we just have to sort of snake our way through every last pixel. I'm actually glad now that it's a +0 mission, because that'll make it a little easier and a little quicker. So it seems like they decided to make the Knives of Artemis suck, no matter what your archetype is. They're horrible for a melee character, because you have to stand in the caltrops. I don't know what they're like for a regular range character, but they absolutely suck for a Mastermind because your pets are going to walk through the caltrops no matter what. We don't need all of that. Okay. God, even like the banners, you can't see anything when you're flying because the banners are in the way. I wonder if I go all the way up here if I'll still be affected by caltrops. Looks like that's high enough not to be affected. There's a boss. But let's fight the little guys over here first. We have to beat everybody, so we may as well. Let's see, how high up do I have to go to get away from the caltrops? Up here is finally high enough. Of course, I can't go up that high, right? Because I gotta come down and AoE heal my minions. Nothing over there. Nothing over here. Now my minions will probably be stupid and fall down. Alright, let's buff up our guys. That's probably all we need. Go get her. And I'll cut our defenses. It's probably a mez, so I'll try to unmez my guys. And that's the end of the boss. We got a clue, which says, we destroyed Sister Olivia. She snarled, "You cannot save Moira." Mora, I guess, is the correct name. So there are more guys somewhere. Or more gals, I guess, because the knives are all gals. I don't see anybody in here. No. Come on down, guys. Alright, let's go back and try down the other hallway. Nope. This is a dead end. So I missed somebody somewhere. Let's go invisible. And let's see what we can find. And you guys can just go scratch, as my grandmother used to say. The little flame guys. I'm just going through every corner, hitting tab, 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 trying to see if there are any enemies. It'd be nice if the flame guys would aggro somebody. Then at least I'd know who it is and where they are. Well, it looks like I've gone through every millimeter of this place. Tabbing like crazy. So one of the problems, again, there's 2 floors, so it looks like you've been through every pixel, but you've got it there. You've got to make sure that you got both floors. So there we go. Now she's over there somewhere. There she is. Go get her. We're not going to wait for Curly. Just get her. Yeah, so the issue is it looks like you completed the map when you're on one floor, but then when but the other floor you didn't actually go through. And that's usually what happens, and there's somebody in a corner somewhere that you didn't aggro. Alright, so let us go back to Arbiter Deos. We're now on a story arc for him. At least you get into the story arcs right away here. There's not a lot of grinding for the contact. The grinding is in the missions to get the bank vault. And the bank vault itself, of course. He says the Knives are looking for an Arachnos operative named Mora. I know no one by that name. I'll have to do some digging. Gives us a new contact. Mage Killer Zakara or Forrester? I think I already know Mage Killer, don't I? Oh no, I know Regent Carol. Alright, we'll go for the Mage Killer. And then he says, I've done some research and I believe I know who the Knives of Artemis are seeking. The woman in question was once known as Mora, but when she joined the ranks of the Fortunata, she took on the name Nemesyne. I know the Knives of Artemis often resent seeing their members leave the fold. It may well be that they wish revenge against Nemesyne. Unfortunately, the lady's psychic abilities put her in touch with the ancestral memories dating back thousands of years. Quite valuable. As you can imagine, I do not intend for Nemesyne to be taken out without a fight. Go and protect her. Alright, this will be an escort mission, I'm sure. And will be probably our second and final mission of the day. You know, one of the things that I found really interesting, when I used to game, like most of my life, when I gamed on video games, I wanted to make progress, I wanted to get things done, I wanted to complete a game or a run through. I would play a given game for hours, you know, I want to level this character, just sit here and play City of Heroes for like 6 hours until she gets to level 44. And I sort of felt like that's kind of what you had to do, because there's so much grinding in a lot of games, there's so much to do, there's a lot of content in many games. And I don't know if I've mentioned this before, I think I may have. And I started watching these Let's Plays. I started with Plinger Fu on Ark, and I was watching Arumba for Europa Universalis and Crusader Kings, and I was watching, can't remember her name, but Pinstar, the guy who created the legacy playthrough style and rules for The Sims 2, and then continued it in 3 and 4. His wife played a Let's Play of The Sims 4, and these guys are doing stuff on YouTube, and they're posting, you know, a video a day, and a lot of them play, you know, their videos are between a half hour and an hour, and one of the things that really surprised me as I was watching these was just how much they could get done in a half an hour a day, right? And you'd watch this playthrough, and yes, it had maybe taken the guy 3 months to do, and we're on episode 95, but hey, we're like 3/4 of the way through a playthrough of Crusader Kings 2. And given that I would sometimes play for many, many hours but never actually finish a playthrough, it starts in like the year, 1066 or something, and then you go to the year like 1454, and I'd get from like 1066 to like 1130 and be like, I'm tired, because I'd played it to death. I played it 6 hours today, and 4 hours the next day, and 3 hours the next day, and 2 hours the next day. So I played the thing to death. And the same thing with an MMO, right? Will you guys stop it and attack? I know there are caltrops here, but come on. Right, this makes me not want to fight the Knives of Artemis. And I forgot to switch it to +1. Well, good. It'll go a little faster. So, anyway, one of the things I realize is you don't get a lot done right at first, right? You don't get a lot done per day because you're only playing half an hour. But you stick with it longer because you play it for half an hour, you stop, and you're like, well, I don't really feel done with this thing, but okay, I've done my hour for today. You stick with it longer. I mean, I've been playing City of Heroes now straight pretty much every single day for, a year and a half. And I've no intention of stopping. I will continue doing it. Now, when the game first came back, yes, I played way more than a half an hour. Right? I played several hours at a time. I got way behind on posting my videos for we're going to just go through the elevator here because I think that she's going to be on the last level, so I'm not going to bother cleaning out the rest of the levels. We just need to get her out. When I started playing Silver Phoenix, I got way behind on my videos because I was playing a lot every single day. I'd make 3 or 4 episodes a day. But now I just make an episode a day, and I play a half hour, 45 minutes a day. Now, when I'm not recording, I might play a little more than that. Yesterday I played for about an hour and a half. But when I'm recording, I just play half an hour a day. I do the same thing for House Flipper. I do the same thing for City of Heroes. And you can get an awful lot accomplished playing half an hour a day. And that's super cool. And you stick with it longer. And I really didn't realize just how much you can get accomplished. I've been playing this Mastermind for about 5 months, something like that. Maybe a little less, 4 months. Not really sure. Look at this. Look how high up I am, and I'm still taking caltrop damage. That's just ridiculous. But I got her to level 43. I've never really gotten tired of playing City of Heroes or tired of playing her. I play her almost every day. I look forward to playing it each day. In fact, I don't tend to play early in the morning because, as you guys know from past videos, I do have issues in this particular room. It's at the east side of the house, and in the morning I get a lot of really bright ambient light in here, which makes it hard to see things, and hard to see what's on the screen, especially in a dark map like this. But like today, it's pouring rain out, and so it's dark, and I'm not having that issue. And so it's early morning. It's like 10 in the morning, and one of the where is it? One of the problems that I have when I'm only playing half an hour, right, is if I play this game at 9 in the morning, I'm enjoying it, right? But then, gosh, later in the day, I'm like, I want to play again because I only played a half hour. And I think the secret to longevity in a game is not to play it too much. And, when you love a game, there is a tendency to play it to death. And I think both with House Flipper and this, the reason I've stuck them out so long this time, longer than I did in the past, is because I've been doing them in small chunks, and I'm not really satisfied by the end of a half hour. It sort of leaves me wanting more, which means tomorrow I want to play again. So each day I look forward to, I get to play City of Heroes again. Good, I have an itch. Oh, I get to play House Flipper again. Good, I have an itch, and I think that that works really well. So, so I don't know. I think that I feel like D&D is the same way, right? We play once every other week, and although I would want to play every week if I could possibly prep enough, are you stuck? If I could possibly prep enough, I don't really have the time to do all the prepping to go once a week. I think if we played every single week, I might have gotten sick of it already. I mean, we'd be 40 sessions in instead of 20, and I might be like, okay, I'm ready to stop the campaign. But because we've only played every other week, each week we don't play, I'm like, darn, I want to play some D&D, which makes me really anxious and makes me really be chomping at the bit to play D&D again the next week. And so I'm always looking forward to it. There's never been a week when I've been like, I don't feel like playing D&D today. Never. And I think that if it was every single week, there would be some Saturdays when I'd be like, oh man, I wish I could just have the Saturday off. But since I get one Saturday off every other Saturday, I don't feel that way. I actually am bummed on the Saturdays when I'm not DMing, like, oh darn, it's not this week. For instance, I think it was just last week. I kind of forgot, like I knew it wasn't going to be this week, but like as we got close, it was like Friday. Oh good, it's Friday, D&D tomorrow. Oh no, it's not D&D tomorrow, that's next week. So, I never really understood or thought about the importance of kind of regulating my intake of video games, and what I found is it actually is really useful. So these guys are going to fight each other, and there's a boss, I guess. Let's buff up, and then we'll just dive in because it's only white and orange cons. So yeah, I mean, one of the real secrets to, what are you guys doing? I think one of the real secrets to the staying power in a game is not to play too much, and it's the Let's Play people, the people like Flingerfoo and Arumba and Lil Simsy and whatever her name is, who's Pinstar's wife, who played a little at a time. Those guys are the ones who helped me see how much you could get accomplished. And like watching these guys, I'm like, wow, this guy played like half an hour a day, and here we are on episode 90, and he's got like a tame T-Rex, an Ark, and this huge base. Now, sometimes they do things, and I do it too, where you like turn off the recording and get some things accomplished off screen. I do that on House Flipper. So I'll play more than just the one half hour, sure. And I've been playing this whole time without my stealth on, haven't I? All right, so we're gonna come over here, guys. We're gonna wait for the caltrops to go away because there's no way this the prisoner's gonna go through the caltrops. So yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot to be said for playing a game a little at a time rather than like churning through for hours. And I think there is a reason why. That is a reason why on my supergroup, almost none of them play City of Heroes anymore. I still do, Arduin still does, and I think Cobalt Streak still does, but most of the rest of them never. And Vaka Rain still runs, tries to run a roleplay session every Sunday, although I don't know how many times she gets people to come. But most of the rest of them, including Nina, our group leader, and everything, have kind of gotten tired of it. And I think they got tired of it because they overdid it, right? They played it to death way more than I did, right? I was maybe playing 2 or 3 hours a day, if that, when I was really going crazy on it. They played it to death. They had multiple alts. They played 3 alts a day, 3 hours an alt. You know, they're playing all summer long. The first summer, they're off for the summer because their college students are, oh man, we're going to play all day long. Or like there are people who like took their vacations. I kid you not, guys. They took their vacation, just like in the old days when you take your vacation when an MMO is coming out. They took their vacation time, you know, that summer to like play City of Heroes again, and they played, you know, morning till night for 14 days, and then they had enough. And so, and it's not just the total hours, right? Let's say you've got somebody who plays 10 hours a day for 14 days, they play 140 hours, and you say, well, okay, If Scrapperlock plays an hour a day, you can go 140 days, but it's not that either. You play more than that because an hour a day doesn't really burn you out the way 14 hours or 10 hours a day might. And so I think that, I don't know, I've really enjoyed the ability to play each game for fun as much as I want and still be able to have that longevity in the game. It's been great. And I really never really understood when I was playing these games the old school way of like just for hours and hours and hours. I never really understood just how much you could accomplish playing it. Heck, I play City of Heroes many days just for 30 to 40 minutes. And here we are, not only 43rd level, but I already also have a 50th level Stalker, and that's been since March, right? So in the last 9 months, I've gotten essentially 2 characters all the way through the game, just playing 30 to 60 minutes a day. And I never would have, not that I didn't know you could do that, but I never would have thought it was at all practical or realistic to do. And I thought, nah, I'd get sick of it after a while, but no, I'm more likely to get sick of it when I really, really crank on the game. Especially, by the way, guys, if there's a frustrating or buggy aspect to a game, I feel like I'm much more likely to get frustrated if I keep encountering it. Right, so yeah, lead out missions, I don't like them, but if I only play 2 missions and one of them's a lead out, and then the next day neither of them are, so I only do 1 or 2 lead outs a week, it's not so bad. Right, one of the things that was frustrating about Praetoria is every single mission in one of the story arcs was an ambush, and so I was getting 2 ambushes a day every day, and that was getting frustrating. But if it's only once in a while, it's not so bad. But if you play it 8 hours a day and you're playing 16 missions a day, you're going to get ambushed several times every day, and if you hate that, that's going to get old really fast. But if you're just getting ambushed a couple times a week, it's not so bad. I think there are a lot of benefits to moderating my game hours to the point where I just play the game a little bit at a time. And it also gives me the ability to play multiple games on any given day now in 3 hours of gameplay rather than playing it all for City of Heroes. I can play, a half hour, 45 minutes of City of Heroes, maybe an hour of House Flipper, and an hour of Ironsworn, which is a tabletop role-playing game. And I get all of them. And each day I look forward to each one. So now that I'm done here, I'm like, oh, you know what? Before lunch, maybe I'll play some Ironsworn. I'm really dying to find out what's going to happen in my next delve. Or, oh, maybe I should do some House Flipper and see if I can get a couple of those rooms redesigned. I have an idea for that. And so it makes me excited to get back into the game because I didn't get my fill of it yesterday, so I want more. And I can't say enough about it. And if you've ever had the experience of getting into a game, really enjoying it, loving it, playing it for a month, and then being like, I don't want to play anymore, consider moderating it. Try doing it no more than an hour at a time each day. Limit yourself. And yeah, you can game for 5 hours, but game 4 or 5 different games rather than just sticking in one game for 5 hours, and see just how much you can get done and how much fun it can be and how much longer you will often enjoy the game if you limit your intake on a day-to-day basis. At least it works for me, and it's something to consider. It's something I never considered before I started watching Let's Plays 3 or 4 years ago, and it's something now that I actually do as a routine. So something to think about. Let's call our contact, and then we will finish up. He says, "You recovered Nimasini, well done. I'll see that she gets to safety now. Nightmare laughs. We must punish the knives for their foolish assault." I'm going to go and raise the missions to +1. I know I said, I don't really like dealing with the Artemis, but still, it's too easy. So I'm going to go raise the missions to +1, which is done at Sharkhead Isle. So I'm going to head over there. I will do that off screen. And when we come back, we will continue this story arc. Until next time, I am Scrapperlock, and this has been City of Villains on the Rebirth server.